Hello there guys, my name is Tony and I'm here today to help you out with your Battlefield settings on PC to get all those important frames and clarity in your game, guys, because game's not that optimized right now, but I've got my game run up to about 120 to 150 FPS on 1440p, which is pretty decent, and I'm currently using an Intel i9 10000K with a 3080 Ti Nvidia graphics card. Right guys, the first thing you need to do, man, is get to your desktop, okay, so come down there. Right click your desktop and click on Nvidia control panel, man. Lovely. Wait until this loads up. Right guys, the first thing we need to do is click on the change resolution button right here. And scroll down here to where it says, not this bit here where it says Ultra HD, not SD. Ignore this, go all the way down and make sure your native resolution is, it says here. Okay, so make sure it says native there. And on the right here, you should be able to select your monitor's hertz. Okay, make sure it's on the fastest it can possibly be, because otherwise you're not going to get those frames per second on your computer. Hit apply, and that part is done. Brilliant. Okay. Next, guys, is desktop color settings. This is just for preference for you. Digital vibrance, have it at least 80% in my opinion. Depends on what monitor you got as well. You know, your color settings on your monitor and all that sort of stuff. But preferably, I find that a high digital vibrance enhances your colors into the game. You can just see muzzle flashes and things like that a little bit clearer. But again, personal preference. Alright guys, now let's go over the more important part now, which is the manage 3D settings. Okay, so this is what I currently use. Pretty much everything is off, okay, so off, off, off. I'll just scroll through the side so you guys can copy. Let me just stop right here. DSR factors sometimes, guys, turns on automatically. Okay, now if this is on your PC, sometimes with GeForce Experience, good old GeForce Experience, guys, this here, sometimes it auto-optimizes your games and turns this option on by default for your global games, which is very, very annoying. Okay, so naughty GeForce Experience. So yeah, on DSR factor, boys and girls, just click on this. Sometimes it leaves it on ×2 like this, and what this does basically increases the resolution of your PC but slows your PC down massively. So every time GeForce Experience installs a new driver or whatever, always come back here to your manage 3D settings and make sure this is off, because this can cost you so much frames per second. Hit OK, make sure especially DSR factors is off, okay? Lovely. I'm currently using fixed refresh, and we'll select power management mode. We want maximum performance because we want as much speed as possible. Preferred refresh rate, we want highest available. This is kind of a new one, shader cache size, driver default apparently. But basically, it just preloads loads of textures and stuff, okay? So if you've got the hard drive space, then check up to 100 gig. I've just got a default, and for me, it seems fine. I'm currently using M2 drives, though, for the fast access speed. Sampling on, texture levels is on. Now, the quality, guys, now this setting here, texture filtering quality, you barely get any difference in visual quality between high quality and high performance. So if you put on high performance, you're going to get more frames in your game. Brilliant. And that is the settings there, so hit apply. And this part is done. If you got G-Sync and you're not reaching your frames, this can definitely smooth out your frames a little bit. Because my frames ain't too bad at the moment, I don't really need this on, but if you've got a slower computer and your graphic cards are sports, G-Sync, this could just keep your frames a little bit more synced up, man, if you don't get that much FPS. Lovely, man, lovely. Right, guys, now the next step is go to your documents, okay? Go to your documents on your main PC, okay, double-click that, then go to Battlefield 2042. Then click on settings, and then profile_profile. Okay, this contains all your settings for your current Battlefield. Right click this and edit with Notepad++. You can just download this, guys, from the internet. Okay, it's completely free. Left click this, okay, and it brings up all this crazy stuff, and all this is basically your settings for Battlefield. Okay, now what I want you to do now is press Control F and type in DX and press Find Next. Okay. And it'll automatically find it for you. And there it is, this line here. GST render DX12 enabled. Now, by default, this is set to 0. Okay? And you can't currently change this on the options in the game, okay? So I'm sure DICE will turn it on eventually. Come on, DICE. So, by default, guys, DX12 is actually not actually on in your Battlefield 2042. Okay? So just come to here. By default, it's on 0. Just put a 1 here, which will enable DX12, file, and then just save, okay? And that's it, reboot the game, and DX12 would now be enabled. This will give you a very, very good FPS boost. Okay, and you should be able to play the game, hopefully, absolutely fine. So yeah, DX12 enabled. Put a 1 next to it, save. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. Lovely. And that's it. Now I'll reboot the game. I've already got it booted up here and already set up. And now I'll show you what currently my options are using, man. Already see the FPS here. It's already quite nice already, man. Right, okay then, guys. So under general, first things first, definitely turn off camera shaker mount. You do not want this, unless you want the cinematic feel, of course, but it's up to you. But you know, when grenades go off, explosions, you know, you don't want your screen shaking too much, because otherwise you just won't be able to see what you're doing, you're just going to get fragged straight away, so definitely put it down to 50, okay? Over here, guys, crossplay, feel free to put it on. It actually seems to be working okay now on launch. This wasn't working, but crossplay seems fine now. I've had no issues with it now. Share usage data, you know, turn this off, because, you know, it's just taking more bandwidth. Take that off, man. And pop over now, guys, to display. Right. So I'm using a 1440p monitor, and you can see here we've got our highest resolution. Make sure you're always using full screen. Do not use borderless or windowed, because you're not going to get your maximum FPS. Monitor 1, of course, is my main monitor. We're on the 1440p. The refresh rate now, as we saw earlier during the settings, we set it to 240 Hz. It doesn't give me quite 240, but make sure this is as high as it possibly can be, okay? And hit apply. Field of view, just your personal preference, guys, what you fancy doing. I quite like 85 at the moment. I'm still kind of experimenting with this a little bit. I might put it up to 89 actually, just to get a little bit more fisheye so I can kill those things easier. Okay, guys, ADS field of view. Okay, so what this does is when you turn it on, it just keeps your field of view to your weapon basically. If you turn this off, you get more zoom effect on your sights and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so it's up to you. I prefer it on. Some people like it off. Okay, so basically, if you want more zoom on your weapons, turn it off. If you don't want more zoom, you want to be more close range, turn it on. Brightness, personal preference, as usual. Motion blur, 100%, guys. Turn this off. You don't want to have your graphics all blurry, man. It's not a good thing to have. Compressed aberration, film grain, vignette, and lens distortion. Turn all this off, you know, because it's just going to take frames and all that. And surprise, surprise, guys, guess what? Yes, everything's on low. On previous Battlefield games, we used to use Ultra Mesh, but this actually takes a lot of frames right now. Because this used to basically show soldiers super clear in the older Battlefield games, but on 2042 it doesn't really seem to do anything, and it does cost you quite a lot of frames, so just chuck it all to low anyway, man, because the game still looks really nice on low, man, so I won't worry about it too much. Dynamic resolution scale, make sure this is definitely off. It's a bit like that DSR factors, guys, earlier we saw in the Nvidia settings, so definitely turn this off, because if you turn it on, you can increase your resolution rate, and it won't make the game look much more sharper, but it'll cost your FPS massively, so definitely turn that up. DLSS, guys, I've been mucking around this a little bit, and if you've got an Nvidia card and you can support this, then it is quite good, but unfortunately, it makes it quite blurry. You know, in an FPS game, you don't want blurry textures, okay? So definitely don't want that. So, but it can improve performance. If you pop it on performance, man, you do seem to get a little bit more FPS out of it. But what they really need to do is put some sort of sharpening tool into this, because right now it just doesn't feel that great right now. Maybe in a future patch. Ray trace ambient occlusion, guys, don't turn this on. It makes the game look amazing, but my god, it absolutely wrecks your FPS. So definitely did not put this on. Nvidia's Reflex low latency. This is actually really good. I actually really like this, man. So it reduces your system latency. So basically, your PC responds faster, so you can snap to targets much quicker. So definitely put this on, man. Future frame rendering, at the moment, doesn't actually seem to do anything. In previous Battlefield games, like Battlefield 5, this actually gave you a ton of FPS. Now, at the moment, I've tested this, doesn't really seem to give you any more FPS currently. But on the older games, if you had it off, it'd let you respond much quicker to targets. Okay, so maybe once they fix it, guys, you know, definitely turn this back on. It should give us, hopefully, a frame boost in the future. Vertical sync, guys, at the moment I've got mine off. Like I said earlier, you can use G-Sync if you can support it, man, if you get any tearing and stuff like that. And definitely, guys, turn this off right here. High fidelity objects amount. Definitely turn this off. This costs a lot of performance, okay, so definitely turn that off. And there you go, guys, there you go. And also, guys, one other thing, actually, let me quickly tab to my desktop. Under in GeForce Experience, you press Alt F3. I'm using the sharpening field because the game doesn't let us turn off TAA, temporary anti-aliasing. We can't get the super sharp graphics like we used to have in BF1. So I'm using the sharpen filter just on GeForce Experience here. Alt F3 to bring it up, and I've got ignore film grain on 0. And at the moment, I've got intensity onto 80%, okay? Experiment with this, because obviously it's going to be different from PC to PC and monitor to monitor. But just bring it up enough so you don't get too much ghosting around the pixel and all that. It can just help with clarity, so you can frag those guys even harder, man, even harder. And there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helps you out. Go get that FPS, guys, and go frag some. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and have fun in Battlefield.